Yo. Ladies and gentlemen, all the hip hop heads worldwide, tengo el honor de presentar al único, inconfundible, the one and only EllMatic, yo.
Yeah. Welcome, my fellow Herthanas, for another episode of Fan Talk. I'm your host Selecta, and today we're going to discuss the 25th game of the Bundesliga, Hertha BSC at home versus Bremen. This was relegation battle at its finest. And we really needed these points out of this game. If you have seen my last episode, you could see my commentary on the fact that Bremen has not scored in the last 7 to 8 games. So the stage was set for us to finally break our slump, finally not get a lot of goals and come out victorious, hopefully with a dominant performance. But what turned out was a little bit different. We had relegation battle. Like I just said, Bremen had not scored. They've had an issue to score goals. And like I warned in the last game video, usually Hertha is the type of team that will give the opponent the victory. As we all know, the game ended 2-2. We got scored on super early again, which is, it opens the question, what are y'all doing all day during practice? Okay, the last game against Düsseldorf ended 3-3, now 2-2. Okay, are we eventually gonna play 0-0? I mean, I don't see it, man. This is difficult. It's a really difficult situation we're putting ourselves in. Getting these goals early, and it's gotten earlier and earlier. Was it in the first 8 minutes we're already 2-0 down? I mean, that's like, you know, everybody's running around with a weight vest or something. We're just making life so hard for ourselves. Hertha. So at least we were not that opponent that gave away a victory to a losing squad, but we did give away goals to a team that hadn't scored in a while. So I see a little bit of progress and a little bit of a deviation from the trend. But let's dive right in. We came out in a 4-4-2 that could also have been seen as a 4-1-3-2, where basically one guy was a little bit more defending midfield, which was Askachibar, and then Darida, his counterpart, moved up. But if we look at the formation, we had Kraft in goal again. Looks like currently he's starting over Jahrstein, which I'm going to be interested to see when Jahrstein makes a comeback, because that first goal I feel like Jahrstein could have saved, but we're going to get there. Kraft in goal, right back Klinter, right center back Stark, left center back Torunariga, left back Plattenhardt. In front of them, Askachiba as the holding midfielder, Darida as a little bit more of offensive, hence the 4-1-3-2, with then Wolf on the right wing, Milcher on left wing, Cunha as like a little bit of a hanging striker, and then Piątek up top. I think, given the results and the impact that Milstead and Wolf had in the game against Düsseldorf, this formation makes sense. Don't go too crazy offensively and neglect the defense and get scored on easy. Easy. And then, still have the attacking threat with Cunha, Piątek, and Darida, who has been playing well. So actually on paper, nice formation. I would sign off on that if he came to me. But the defense apparently was not there, especially Stark. 3 minutes into the game, a goal by Sargent came off a heel assist by Bittencourt, which was a nice play. Gave it through to Sargent. Sargent is kind of in between the center backs, and Stark just backpedals and gives him all the space until he notices, oh shoot, I'm at my own box, I need to step up. At which point in time it was too late. Sargent takes the shot and scores. Of course, it's still a shot from outside the box, which is a nice shot. Yeah, big defensive mistake. Everybody was just in contain mode. Nobody, Stark, just didn't step up to clear that. It was complete disaster. 3 minutes later, 2-3 touches. They played the ball out to Rasica, whatever, to the left wing. Klünter just kind of marshals him, gives him all the time, because the ball was played where it almost went to the side out. Klünter follows him, gives him all the time in the world to save the ball from going out, gives him a chance to change the direction of his body, to put the ball on his right foot to cross in, and then gives him a chance to look up, oh, I see somebody open a nice spot, and cross the ball in. I understand that this guy is really fast and you don't want to get beat, but you also don't want to give him this much time and this much space. So that was the first mistake. Second mistake, Klaassen does a delayed run into the box towards the near post. Stark is backpedaling, sees him in the slow motion or in the replay. You can see he sees him, looks at him, says, all right, you know what? I'm going to just take a couple more steps forward and just man the space. Gives him exactly the space that he needs to bring this ball on goal, which was the second mistake. The third mistake, our keeper Crafty, he just is standing in there ball watching like, oh, look at this cross. Doesn't react fast. I mean, you got to come out and own that box. This guy was taking a header in what, his 5-yard box? Oh man, no, you gotta own that box, go out there and fist that away. He came out trying to catch the ball, and of course the guy had the ball in near post and scores. Kraft is there in disbelief. Oh my God. So 6 minutes and we're down 2-0. So what ended up happening was that I think Bremen kind of took the foot off the gas a little bit. They're like, whoa, we're scoring again. This is it. You know, we're going to bring this, we're going to maintain this. Because they didn't do, for the rest of the game, they didn't do anything offensively anymore. I mean, barely anything. It was just, from their side, it was even sad. That gave us a chance to get back in the match. Coach also changed the formation a little bit to a 5-3-2, where basically, depending on which side the ball was at, either Milstead would come back as a left back to make that 5 across the back, or Wolf would come over, which also helped. So, maybe we should start out with 5 defenders, play a 5-3-2 against the next opponent, Hoffenheim. Well, anyways, that brought back some security. Bremen, for the rest of the game, actually did not really have any great chances anymore. We controlled the game, they didn't have no more shots, and then in the 41st minute, a nice free kick, I think it was Plattenhardt, swung the ball in nice, and Stark with a beautiful move. Before the ball was played, he goes offside, goes around the back of 2 defenders, goes back onside, basically losing his marker. The ball comes in, he heads it in. Beautiful. Beautiful. I want to see more of that. That was really nice. I mean, Stark, you really kind of, I guess, made up for one of your mistakes. Then in the 60th minute, we have this beautiful shot from Cunha, which was again from distance outside the box. And funny enough, again, just like at the last game, deflected, goes in, nice assist from Mittelstadt. I don't know what it is with Cunha and his goals after deflection. I mean, I'll take him. But I just want y'all to keep in mind that the last 2 goals he scored were all off a deflection. Theoretically, the last 3, because remember when he scored in Paderborn with the heel flick or whatever you want to call it, it was, cleared off the line into goal. So, of course, you could own goal, whatever. I think that goal should still belong to Cunha. But yeah, it was, this time it wasn't quite deflected, but there was another player involved. So it's just a funny little side note. So I'm trying to see, what would these shots look like if they were not deflected? Would they still go in, or is it a lucky deflection? Either way, you have to give Acuna his credit for scoring. And sorry, I want to take something back. It was not a assist from Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt actually took a shot from outside the box, was just, let's get it. Great, these work every so often. I think we should take a lot more shots from outside, especially if we have somebody like Darida on the pitch who can shoot wonderfully from a distance. So the keeper spills it right into the direction of Cunha, and Cunha slots it home, of course deflected and goes in. And that was pretty much game time. I mean, 60th minute afterwards, there was, the call for penalty, which was a weird situation because the ref called a clear penalty, which really it wasn't. The defender had the arm on the body. Everything was all right. It was a deflection, but he blew his whistle before the ball went out of play behind the goal. And hence, we were all thrown off. Everybody was like, yo, this was a corner, after the VR thing and everything. And the VR called it back and said, no, this wasn't a penalty. So I was like, all right, we got a corner, big deal. We score on the corner. I'm fine with it. But no, the ref blew his whistle before the ball went out. And so it had to be drop ball, goal kick, whatever. Weird little situation. We saw Bani Bisevic in the 78th minute. He had a header that could have gone in. It went over. And then in the 89th, we had Lecky come in to make an appearance. Interesting that we did not bring in Luka Bacchio. Wonder what's going on there. So the game, you could see that we are definitely more controlling the game, which was good. But again, it wasn't as much pressure on the opposing half that we wanted to have. We're doing a little bit better. If we just managed to turn off those early goals, we could have won here. We were the better team on paper, and I feel like we should have won here. Let's look at the game stats. So the game ended 2-2. We had 19 shots on goal. They had 7. So that clearly lets you see that we were pressuring the whole time. We didn't run as much with 16.1 kilometers. They did 118. We played 406 passes. They 431. And of course, passing was horrible. We had 68%. They had 69%. We had a little bit less of the ball, which was surprising. They had 51%, we had 49%, and we won 47% of tackling. They 53%. We had 3 corners, they had 1. I mean, looking at the numbers, especially with the passing, you can see this was a subpar Bundesliga game. However, the 19 shots clearly shows that we had more of it. So, if we want to summarize the whole game, we controlled 80 minutes, hands down. We should have won the game, and we would have won the game if we didn't get those 2 early goals. If we turn this off, like I mentioned earlier, we actually have a chance to compete and defeat some of these teams that are in our realm, like Augsburg, who's coming up, and Union Berlin, maybe Hoffenheim. We'll see, but we'll talk about it in just a second. But yeah, we just have these reoccurring problems of just starting so weak. And what are we doing to prepare? What is coach gonna do to turn this off? Maybe they all need an energy drink or a slap or something before the game starts to get them going. But I want to see as the next big improvement from our team to turn that off. No early goals. Everybody's out there 100% from the get-go. That would be nice. Yo, Klinsmann, thank you for getting Cunha to Hertha BSC. Without Cunha, I think we currently would be in a relegation zone. So big shout out to that 21-year-old amazing player. I mean, he brings so much to our game. I don't even know where to start. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the season is getting shorter and shorter. We have exactly 9 more games remaining. And it's getting a little scary because 9 games remaining, we still have some great opponents to play. Will we have a chance to stand clear of relegation and the relegation game? I wanted to do a little look ahead. at our next upcoming opponents and kind of toy with the idea, with the predictions of how much points we can get from them. So, next up, we're away at Hoffenheim. Difficult game, really difficult game. Hoffenheim is playing like a team with two faces. Sometimes they play alright, sometimes they play bad. Best case scenario with our performance right now, I'd say a draw. But we're probably going to lose there, a close game. And then at home against Union. Union, to me, and a couple of the blogs I listen to, some of the guys agree, is going to be one of these very important games. Not just important, but they're going to set the stage for the rest of the season, kind of. This is like a make or break game. I feel that if we play horrible and lose there, it's going to foreshadow towards the rest of the games, because it is such an important game. There is a lot of pressure on the team put from us, the fans, because we want to see them make up for what happened in the Alte Försterei in Köpenick. We want redemption. The fans, if they allow us in there to watch, because this whole coronavirus thing, the fans are going to put down a lot of pressure on the team. They might visit a practice session like last time, and if the team breaks, then I think we're almost going to be near free fall for the rest of the season. So this is going to be a very important game. If we do good at Union and we win, which I think we surely have to and we should. So let's say that's our first 3 points. Next, we're going to go to Leipzig. We're going to get spanked. Then we're going to have Augsburg at home. This is another game that we need to win. They are not playing very well. They just playing the coach. Usually there's an effect when a new coach in, which, 3 games in, they should have worn off. So we should have a chance to beat them at home. Then we go away to Dortmund. We're going to get spanked. There's no way we're going to beat Dortmund right now. Then we have Frankfurt at home, which in theory, there is a chance to win the game, but it's going to be difficult. And, we did... I don't know. That's a difficult game to gauge. I think we should be lucky if we get out of there with a draw. Then Freiburg away, always nasty. Remember that they have a weird pitch that has a little slope. It's a little bit weird to play in Freiburg. And Freiburg, I don't know exactly what their home record is right now, but they're up in the table for a reason. Yeah, they have been losing a little bit more as of lately, but that could be a game. Again, I think a narrow defeat is what's going to happen. Then we have Leverkusen at home, where we're probably going to lose because they're at this point in time playing for Champions League, places. So they're going to come there to win this game, and it's going to be really hard to stop them. And then we're away at Gladbach for the last game of the season. So the ones that we should win is Union and Augsburg. The ones that we could potentially win, but it's a far-fetched, is the next game, Hoffenheim and then Frankfurt. So that's 6 points if we win the 2 that we should win. And then potentially 2 more draws. That's 7-8 points. That is not the 40-point mark, I think, that we need to reach to be really safe. It's also not going to be the 9 points that we need to get to Europa. I think looking at this, at the next games, we have a chance to stay clear, but we need to win those games that I said, and we have to try to get a draw from those others. Then we might have a good chance of staying in the league, and hopefully not having to change our coach. Because I personally think if we lose to Hoffenheim, God forbid, and we lose to Union, God forbid, there is a chance that Nuri's going to get the axe. The only coach that currently, according to media in Germany, or some media in Germany, that we have a chance to get is Bruno Labbadia. And he would probably come in then to try to save the rest of our season. However, it would be much better for everybody, for us, for Nuri, and for Bruno Labbadia if he came in the summer. that way he doesn't have to to save us. He doesn't have to play the role of the savior. That what if he doesn't manage to do that, you know? So I think it would be better if this could work out, and then we don't have to settle for him just yet. We can try with Kovac again, who said he's definitely not going to come this season. Depending on where we finish in the table and some other little factors, I'm sure that we could try Kovac again. Kovac would definitely, in my opinion, still be the coach that we should try to get. And Bruno Labbadia, we need to try to keep him as a plan B, if that works. Another interesting factor that will affect play in the Bundesliga, not just us, but everybody, is this whole coronavirus scare. Yes, it is a bad flu virus. It's a bad virus that is deadly to the elderly and to people with immune system deficiencies. But I think you should let people choose whether or not they want to put themselves at risk. Everybody has to see for themselves. If you're living alone at home and you don't go visit, or you don't have an elderly mother that you got to worry about, and you would wash your hands and you don't touch your face in public places and these things, then I think it's fine, because a lot of us are still taking public transport, and I'm sure that you touch a lot more things that other people have touched in public transport than you will do at the stadium. You know, just keep high fives to a minimum. Don't spit or cough, you know, control what you can control, and I think it should be fine. Imagine the derby being empty. In one way, that actually, thinking about it now, that could be beneficial to our team. If the fans are not there, stressing the players additionally, maybe there's a little bit less pressure and they'll play better. But come on, we want to see the derby. I would love to have fans there. I want to see Bengalos. I want to see the whole nine. I need a real derby, right? So difficult. However, now there is a first player in the Bundesliga, second Bundesliga, I apologize, that has been infected. He's a reservist for Hannover that has been injured for a long while. He contracted it at some event. So, also they moved, supposedly, the European Cup to next year to make this whole thing blow over. The German Ice Hockey League was about to start the playoffs, and they called it quits. They said, no, we're canceling the rest of the season, that's it. I mean, if we canceled the rest of the Bundesliga season, it wouldn't be the worst for us. We kind of, would have gotten by. It would have been fine for us. Interesting topic. I do not believe in fear-mongering. I do believe that, we should not take this whole thing out of context. We don't have to walk around with masks and arrest people and, lock people away. You have to quarantine yourself when you got it. You need to be careful that you don't get it. And you need to be careful that by not trying to get it, that you, in case you do get it, you don't pass it on to other people unnecessarily, touching stuff and sneezing on stuff and stuff like that. So there's one more thing I want to talk about, and we're going to cue music. A new campaign by Koita & Co. And this is a weird one, ladies and gentlemen. It's called Spreeathen lebt blau-weiß, meaning Spreeathens, Spree as in the river through Berlin, and Athens as in the capital of Greek, lives blue-white. So this is a weird campaign. This slogan, Spreeathen, came up in the 1700s, I think 1706. Yep, noted it there. And it basically represents or symbolizes the area between the Brandenburger Gate and Museumsinsel. That's the islands that host all the museums and that has the big dome, right? That whole, I think I forgot what the street is. I wanted to call it Friedrichstraße, but it's Unter den Linden, right? Unter den Linden. The street, basically. It has a whole bunch of great architecture. I can only recommend, if you ever visit Berlin, go to the Brandenburger Tor, preferably go to Hauptbahnhof, walk over the bridge, pass by the Reichstag, then go to the Brandenburger Gate, walk through past Unter den Linden all the way to Alexanderplatz, which you will basically walk Spreeathen. I do it every time I go there. I just love the vibes. It's kind of my little ritual in Berlin to visit those areas. But the slogan came about because Athens is like this cultural hub at the Mediterranean with the Acropolis and with Plato and Aristotle and all these intellectual people. And they wanted to show or tie that back in the 1700s with Berlin, where we had universities and the nice buildings that kind of, some of them do remind you of the front of the Acropolis. So, you know, tying in art and culture that came to Berlin and wanted to represent Berlin as a cultural, artsy hub. So, supposedly this name Spreeathen comes in our song when we score a goal. Hertha, Hertha. I don't know exactly the words here. I could have looked it up, but you know, it's a little late here. Kind of forgot about that. But it's a weird little campaign. You know, the logo, you all seen the logo. I put it in the description. By the way, you guys can go on the website from Hertha and download all the material in case you wanted to, you know, put it on your Instagram or tweet about it or tweet it out or so on. But yeah, I would like to know what you guys or how you guys feel about it. I personally think it's interesting. I do not like the graphic with that arm with the little blue vein. It's not really my thing. I do like the flag on there. Supposedly in the fan shop they're gonna have a whole bunch of gear coming out soon that is, you know, contains this campaign on it. So we'll see. Maybe our old slogan is gonna go away. It's a weird point in time to me, like, why at the end of the season like that? Are they trying to breathe some more life into Hertha, which I'm weirded out on how that's gonna happen? Or are they just trying to make some more bread? Like, yo, y'all buy some of the new stuff, let's go. Weird. Anyways, how do you guys feel about it? Also, how do you guys feel about what I said about the games? You know, Hoffenheim, can we get points there? Union, Leipzig, Augsburg, Dortmund, Frankfurt, Freiburg, Leverkusen and Gladbach. Do you guys think that we'll break the magic 40? And who do you think that we could be able to beat and why? If you put it in the comments, if I get some discussion going, I will continue this and I'll give you a shout out on my next video. We can discuss, because that would be after the Hoffenheim game, so it would be right before Union, a nice juicy time to discuss. And we can even, if you guys want to, analyze some of the games, upcoming games for people that we're in a relegation battle with. I mean, Paderborn we probably don't have to worry about, but Düsseldorf, Bremen, Mainz, Augsburg, Union, you know, and kind of see what the rest of their schedule is like. So, let's get 3 points in Hoffenheim, ladies and gentlemen. Ha, ho, hey, Hertha BSC.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the hip hop heads